Hi friends, it's Miss Julia here, and I wanted to invite you to come to the church today after Sunday school between 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock. And we will be loaning out costumes for our virtual Christmas pageant. We have costumes of angels and all different kinds of animals and wise seekers and shepherds. You might want to just come and look through. Maybe you want to be all different characters in the pageant. But we're going to loan out costumes to anyone who could use one. You can also make your own costume, or maybe you have some costumes at home that you could use. And then maybe over Thanksgiving break, the grown-ups can take pictures of you in your costumes and send them to me, and I'll put it together in a virtual Christmas pageant like we did last year. It's going to be really fun. I loved seeing the pictures last year, and I can't wait to see them this year. We're also looking for singers and people to do some of the speaking parts. So you can let me know if you want to do those things as well. You can do all of it. It would be great to have you be involved. Today is a special day in the church. It's when grown-ups turn in their pledges to the church. And do you know what a pledge is? A pledge is a kind of promise, just like we say the Pledge of Allegiance. And when I was young, my church every year would go on what we called a crop walk. And I would pledge to walk, I think it was 5 miles. And people would pledge to pay me a certain amount for each mile I walked. And that money would go to provide food for people who didn't have enough food. And so I was raising money for people who were hungry. And so I would walk that 5 miles because that's what I pledged. That's what I promised. And then I'd go to the people who had made me a promise, and they would say, ooh, I pledged $2 a mile. That means I give you $10. And that $10 would go to help feed hungry people. So in the church, we collect pledges, and we ask people to think about all the things they're grateful for that our church provides us, like worship, Sunday school, youth mission trips, music, kind of a safe place, right? There's all different things that our church does, and our church reaches out into the community and helps those who don't have food or who aren't being treated fairly. And so we ask people in mostly the grown-ups, but we ask the people in the congregation to think about all the reasons they love to be part of this church. And out of that sense of gratitude and thankfulness, we promise to give a certain amount of money to the church. And some people promise to give time to the church, like our Sunday school teachers who teach you every single Sunday during the year. They pledge to give that time. And people pledge to give money. And today is the day when we collect those pledges. So the people in charge, the leaders, can look through and say, okay, we have a promise that people will give this much money, so this is the amount of money we can spend on Sunday school and music and other things. Is that confusing? Maybe. It's basically saying that everything we have that is good comes from God, and we're thankful. And so we promise, just like God promises to be there for us, we promise to kind of be there for God and for God's people. And one way we can do that is by giving back. So I thought it'd be fun to go back to that prayer that we used to say when we gathered on the steps in person. Would you repeat after me? Loving God, thank you for the gifts you give. for all the ways you help us live. Please use these gifts we give to you so others know of your love too. Amen. Have a great, great Thanksgiving, and maybe I'll see you picking up costumes.